Gas prices here in Kern County have seen minor increase over the past month. The question of how far prices is an everyday concern. High or low they go. Head of Petroleum Analyst at Gas Buddy, Patrick DeHaan, joining us to talk all about it. Patrick, welcome back on to Eyewitness News. All right, when are they going down? That's probably the question everybody has. It's just a generic question, so when are they going down?
Hey, we've seen some refinery snags in much of California now. Most of the nation has just started the transition back to winter gasoline. Now, that's something that doesn't happen in California until October. So you're going to have to wait a few more weeks. Now, there have been some refinery snags here and there, as I mentioned, through the state. This is also the time of year that refineries typically carry out maintenance. Now that the summer driving season is over, that maintenance happens. The good news is prices usually drift a little bit lower in California in September and October, but then they really tend to drop in November. So you may have to wait a little bit more time for some relief. Average gas prices in Bakersfield up about 6 cents from last week at $4.54. But that's primarily related to refinery outages. The good news is gasoline demand is starting to go down. So I think as we get close to October, prices should start to reverse. And then especially in the Central Valley, when we get to mid and late October, that's when we'll start the transition back to cheaper winter gasoline. So by early November, prices really should start to decline more significantly.
Let me bring this up to you. You keep bringing up refineries. And I think we had this conversation prior a few months ago about refineries that are going to be closing in California.
Yeah.
Is that going to play a big maybe we'll see prices go down, which would be great. But if they close in California, will that make our prices go back up?
Yeah, I mean, great question. That's a big concern because now Phillips 66 has started the permanent shutdown of its LA refinery. That is not going to be good for moving down the road. California currently has about 11 refineries. Now, after the Phillips 66 refinery in LA closes, it'll be 10. Now, Valero was slated to shut down their Bay Area refinery here next year, and that could bring the number of refineries in California down to 9. Now, there are some murmurs, some rumors that the state of California may be working with Valero to keep that refinery open. If these refineries both shut, it looks like the Phillips 66, which has already started shutting down, I think that's kind of a foregone conclusion. But the state now is certainly seeming to try and step in here to avoid the shutdown of that Valero Bay Area refinery next year. That would be good news, but the problem still is California is dealing with a declining number of refineries, less capacity, and that's going to make you more prone to sticker shock when issues do arise down the road.
And that's one of the concerns we have. There's a bill that was put up from our California legislatures, Shannon Grove, Leticia Perez, SB 237, that's looking to, reduce fuel prices down the horizon, bring back more jobs. That bill has to be signed by Governor Gavin Newsom. Do you think that will help out in the long run, or is this just a short-term fix? And because a lot of what I've seen, like businesses like you just talked about, and Chevron in particular here in Bakersfield, they've moved out, and they said they weren't coming back. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, to your point, SB 237 could be a step in the right direction. I mean, California has gone the other direction, shutting down oil production, trying to move refineries away, discouraging refineries with all sorts of regulations, with these various laws that put onerous requirements on them. So SB 237 could actually move California back to more of a neutral stance. Now, keep in mind, does California want to deal with imported products, imported oil that are essentially produced in areas that see more pollution? I mean, that's kind of the wild card here for California. And SB 237 is probably a step in the right direction. Is it an immediate overnight solve? No. But California for decades has been relatively hostile to both oil production and refineries. It feels like the state is finally starting to realize that those policies have been restrictive and are driving investment out of California. So maybe it seems like politicians are finally starting to look to take a step in the right direction.
Man, I hope so. Now, we always talk about how Gas Buddy prices can change at every time when you guys look up the stats and stuff. But my dad uses Gas Buddy all the time. He lives in Ohio. He loves it. He's always telling me, do you use this? Do you know where to get your gas? We're going to show our gas prices right here. I mean, how up to date are these gas prices when you guys update them on the website?
Well, we're getting about 12 million prices reported to us on a weekly basis. So, we try to have the most up to date. Now, it does rely on volunteer price spotters like yourself, like your dad, like me, to visualize those gas prices and report them to the app. So, a lot of that is still crowdsourced. Before, days of social media, Gas Buddy was kind of the first website that said, hey, can you all help us out? So that's what the website is, the Gas Buddy app, if you have it. We encourage users to report prices to us so that we can all find those lower price stations because, your dad's point, prices are all over the map. You can be in Bakersfield. One station could be 50, 60, 70 cents a gallon higher or lower. That's what the Gas Buddy is all about, is helping you show or see those prices with a community of volunteers so that you can save on your next fill up.
Awesome. Well, head of Petroleum Analyst at Gas Buddy, Mr. Patrick DeHaan, we really appreciate your time and helping us out here at ARC Bakersfield.
My pleasure.